way you behave at a restaurant says a lot about you. Making certain mistakes can make you look arrogant or not serious, even if you are not like that. Therefore, in today's video, I will discuss 11 restaurant etiquette mistakes a gentleman never makes. And trust me, most modern men have poor manners while dining out. So if you avoid these mistakes, you will truly stand out. Number 1. Not reserving a table. Being prepared is never out of style, and it's one thing most guys miss. Making a reservation shows that you think ahead. You don't wait until you're standing outside a packed restaurant, hoping for a miracle or panicking because there's a 45-minute wait. A true gentleman anticipates. He takes 60 seconds earlier in the day, calls ahead, and secures a table, even if it's just a small Italian place or a neighborhood spot that usually isn't busy. Why? Because that bit of effort sends a clear message that you planned this for you and your partner. That's what turns an average night into something a little more special. Even more than that, it protects the vibe. I mean, think about it. When you don't have a reservation, your night becomes a gamble. You're hoping things go right or that you get a good table that's free. But when you plan, everything just flows. There's no awkward waiting at the bar and no hunting down the hostess like you're trying to get the bus before someone else does. You walk in, say your name, and you're guided to your table. Number 2. Not standing up when meeting people. Nowadays, I see so many men just sitting while shaking a hand. This shows low effort in giving respect to the other person. People want to feel respected and welcomed. It is arrogant and not gentlemanly to shake hands while you're sitting. It doesn't matter who it is. Is it the Queen of England or a friend's friend? Just stand up, gentlemen, because the first impression is always the most important one. When people feel that you are arrogant already in the first time meeting, it is hard to change their view of you. So from now on, stand up and look them in the eye while shaking their hand. This small gesture creates a big impact, setting the tone for mutual respect right from the start. It shows that you are attentive and ready to connect, which are key traits of a true gentleman. Number 3. Letting the door close in the face of who's right behind you. It all starts with your entrance. Most guys don't even think twice about it. They walk through a restaurant door like they're heading into a fast food joint. Let the door swing behind them and just keep moving like no one else exists. But a gentleman considers others. He isn't thinking about the table he's headed for. He's also thinking about who's behind him. Whether you're walking in with friends, colleagues, or even strangers, you don't let the door swing shut behind you without caring about who's slamming right in front of. You hold it open for who's coming on next. While you're at it, you shouldn't hold the door like you're doing the person a favor. You need to do it like it's the most natural thing in the world, because for a gentleman, it is. You step slightly aside to give them the space to go in, then close the door and follow right behind. This small but kind gesture shows how considerate you are about others, and whether you're walking into a business lunch or a birthday dinner, that first impression matters a lot. Number 4. Being on your phone. Let's be real. You'd want to check that constant notification ping off your phone, but when you're at the table with someone, especially someone you want to connect with, like on a date or meeting, that phone needs to go. Not flipped over, not buzzing silently, not even hidden under a napkin. Put it away because nothing says, "You're not my priority," like glancing at your screen every time it lights up. A gentleman knows that the most valuable thing he can offer someone is his full attention. It's honestly rare these days, and that's exactly why it stands out. You need to look her in the eye when she talks, listen without drifting off, and laugh when something's funny, not just to be polite, but because you're actually tuned in. What you could call the best part about this is that when you give someone your full attention, you're showing self-control and discipline, that nothing in that phone matters more than what's right in front of you. So be the man who stays in the moment and makes the notifications wait. By the way, if you're interested in more etiquette rules, you can subscribe to our free newsletter. The link is in the description. Number 5. Ordering for others when they didn't ask. This one's a common trap. Some guys think they're being classy by taking charge of the order and jumping in before others at the table. On a date, for example, some guys place the order even before the woman sitting across from them opens her mouth, telling the waiter she'll have the salmon. They think it shows confidence, but what it really shows are control issues, because unless she specifically asks you to handle it, ordering for her is not charm, it's assumption. A gentleman respects choice. He might ask what she's thinking of getting, maybe even offer a suggestion if she seems unsure, but he never does so uninvited. Now let's say someone does ask you to order for her, then yes, go for it. But even then, do it with care. Confirm their preferences and make sure you pronounce it right if there's something fancy. Then inform the waiter with that low-key confidence. Number 6. Being rude to staff. This one's very important. The way you treat the restaurant staff says more about you than your outfit, your looks, or your bank account. A gentleman never talks down to waiters, bartenders, or hosts, ever. You're not above anyone in that restaurant. You don't snap your fingers, raise your voice, or roll your eyes if something takes too long. You treat the staff with the same respect you'd show a close friend's family because it shows character, and that's definitely one thing people notice about you, especially if you're on a date. Your date is watching how you speak to people who literally owe you nothing. If the order's wrong, you fix it respectfully. If the service is slow, you stay calm because the moment you start acting like the world solely revolves around you, you lose your gentlemanly edge. You go from impressive to insecure really fast. But when you're calm and polite, even under pressure, you earn real respect from the staff, your date, and yourself. A gentleman knows that people remember how he made them feel, not how expensive his dinner or table was. Number 7. Not waiting for everyone to be served before eating. This is one of those old school moves that never goes out of style, because it's pure class and self-respect. You're sitting at the table, the food arrives, and sure, you're hungry, but a gentleman doesn't just dig in the moment his plate is placed on the table. He waits until everyone at the table has their meal. By doing this, you're being patient, respectful, and aware of the people around you, even if it's just one person. You're creating a moment where everyone feels seen because you noticed and you waited. But make sure you don't announce it, make it awkward, or act like you deserve applause for waiting. You just naturally hold back, even if it's just for a minute. That's the difference between a gentleman and a guy who only thinks with his stomach. The people you're with, especially if you're on a date, will pick up on it, even if they don't say anything. In that moment, you're showing maturity, and here's the bonus. If someone insists you start eating, simply nod and smile politely. Then insist they dig in first, and that you don't mind. Number 8. Not chewing quietly and talking softly. You've probably heard this 100 times before, but never chew with your mouth open. Don't talk with food in your mouth, and certainly don't be too loud. Yeah, it all sounds basic, but these small habits tell the full story about how you actually carry yourself or behave in public. I can tell you for a fact that no one wants to hear you smacking, slurping, or talking through a mouthful of pasta. When you chew quietly and continue to hold the conversation after each swallow, you're showing how in control of yourself you are, and that you respect the space of whoever you're with. You don't have to be stiff or robotic, but you do need to be mindful of your eating habits. Then, when it comes to talking and laughing, think about your tone. You don't need your voice to be loud for you to be heard. In fact, the most gentlemanly men are usually the ones who speak calmly, slightly lean in close to who they're talking to, and make the person across from them feel heard. That's how you speak at a restaurant. You don't laugh so loud that the whole restaurant hears you. You don't cut people off mid-sentence with your own stories. You keep the conversation going, and you know when to speak, when to listen, and when to silently listen. Number 9. Getting drunk. A glass or two at dinner? Absolutely fine. But one difference between a gentleman and a guy just trying to escape reality is that a gentleman knows his limits. And more importantly, he sticks to it. He doesn't treat the dinner table like a pre-game. He doesn't keep ordering round after round to keep things fun. The worst part is that if you're trying to be fun, your words get slurred and less composed. You start to laugh too loudly. You begin to lose the calm vibe of the moment. Class is measured in restraint. You need to sip slowly, stay sober, and continue to hold the conversation like a man who's fully present. That level of self-control doesn't go unnoticed. It shows you're able to stay alert no matter how strong the wine is. Nothing kills an elegant evening faster than someone who tips over the edge. The jokes stop landing, the charm completely wears off, and your partner's focus shifts from the growing connection to trying to tolerate a drunk. A gentleman never lets it get there. Number 10. Not knowing when and how to handle the check. Here's where a lot of guys stumble. Not because they don't want to pay, but because they overthink it. The bill shows up, and suddenly it's awkward silence, nervous laughter, or worse, you're arguing over who's going to cover it. A gentleman doesn't play those games. He's already decided before the check arrives. If it's a date, he covers it with no fuss whatsoever. You don't make a show out of it, and you don't talk about how much it costs. You simply glance at the check, take care of it quickly, and move on from there. Sure, every situation's different. It could be a casual hangout and one of the other guys at your table insists, or it's your 5th date with a woman you're connecting with and she wants to treat you back. Then it's fine, but accept the offer smoothly. No awkward, "Are you really sure?" You either take care of it or you accept the gesture gracefully. Number 11. Leaving without thanking the staff. As you leave the restaurant, always take a moment to thank the staff. Don't just give a quick nod to the waiter who refilled your glass. Give a genuine, respectful thank you to the people who made the night happen. Your date is watching, not in a judgmental way, but in a curious one. She's learning who you are when no one's forcing you to perform. The hostess, the guy clearing the table, and the manager on that floor also notice the man who says thank you on his way out. And best believe that respect comes back around. Being a gentleman needs consistency with a restaurant etiquette like this, especially when there's nothing to gain. Then, just like you held the door for your date on the way in, you do the same on the way out. When you make sure you don't make any of these etiquette mistakes, watch your date or dinner event go perfectly, and people get impressed by your simple restaurant etiquette. I hope you found this video helpful, and let us know in the comments which etiquette mistake we missed. And as I said, you can find the link to our free newsletter in the description. We hope to see you in the next one.